Channel switched.
Alrighty, we should be live. Can you hear me, Lily?
Yep, can you hear me?
I can indeed. Very well, let's get this underway. Now we need to sync our replays. We're actually casting from replays today. The people want us to rebroadcast this for you guys. Of course, free of charge, so that's very nice of them. Are you ready to start it off?
Yep, you can do the countdown.
Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Radiant team.
Okay, so today we've got Orange Esports versus TNC from the Asia tournament.
Yes, we're representing the Rapture Gaming Network. We're actually going to be doing some casting for them, as I just talked about. We are going to be from replays, so perhaps every once in a while we might check just to see if we're in sync. I'm not too sure if Dota 2 actually gets out of sync. I know StarCraft 2 and other games. Something to do with the computer, the hardware issues, it will actually get out of sync just naturally, so we'll check that once or twice during the game. Of course, anyone on chat there, you're welcome to tell us how our sound quality is and whatnot. And because it's from a replay, we don't need to worry about a 2-minute delay, so we can check the chat and try to fix up all your problems. Anyway, let's get into the drafting.
So TNC had the first ban, and they decided to ban out Darkseer.
Oranges.
And Orange had the second ban, they banned out Magnus. Those are both pretty traditional standard bans. Third ban by TNC actually goes to Dirge. That would probably be because they have the first pick, and they probably want to take a stronger hero like the Bat Rider or the Nubian Assassin possibly. So they're leaving the pool open for at least a couple of good heroes by banning out the Dirge.
I'm just turning up.
What are your thoughts?
10 seconds.
Yeah, all pretty standard bans at the moment. I'm surprised Nyx Assassin hasn't been banned at the moment. A very, very strong ban, and in fact they're going to let that through, so we might just see Nyx Assassin get picked up straight away here.
Well, I've also got the Bat Rider left open, so that was quite a smart ban by Orange, leaving 2 of the strong heroes in the pool, so they're guaranteed to get one.
Yeah.
I guess TNC's having a little bit to think, because both Nyx Assassin and the Bat Rider are very, very strong picks. Both of them can have a fantastic mid-game and really, dominate the mid-game to win the game for the team, for the carry room to farm.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, TNC taking their time now, and that could be, just as you said, with a couple of really strong heroes still left in the pool, they sort of want to make that decision and what best suits their playstyle. And they choose the Bat Rider, leaving potentially the Nyx Assassin and some other big heroes that have been dominating the scene at the moment, like the Keeper of the Light and the Lone Jewel, also still in the pool, and of course the Phantom Lancer as well, that's still there. So that we might see 2 of those picked up straight away by Orange.
Yeah, since this was in December, the Orange team has changed a little bit since then. They don't have Mushy in the Orange team at that point, so I think the draft order was slightly different than if they did have Mushy, and they decided to go for the Queen of Pain and Shadow Demon.
Team pick.
I'm guessing the Queen of Pain probably be picked up for Yamata, who's got a really strong mid lane. Big. The Shadow Demon, who's basically a counter any carry in the game, really, since he does 2 illusions which do 60% damage, so against any squish carry, 120% damage, right back on the carry if you can catch them with disruption, so very strong support hero pick.
Man, that sort of explains their Templar Assassin ban as well, if they're going straight for a Queen of Pain. They just want to sort of really dominate this mid lane and be able to snowball from it, potentially. We'll see how TNC takes this picks. There's still tons of those picks as we talked about. Nyx Assassin, Lone Jewel, Coddle, whatnot, all still in the pool.
I think since Orange did take the Shadow Demon, so taking something like the Phantom Lancer or the Anti-Mage, even though they do quite well against the Queen of Pain and Shadow Demon, the fact that they did take the Shadow Demon might scare TNC off taking a hard carry in that respect, as it shut down quite efficiently. TNC is really thinking about this. Out of reserve time already. Orange hasn't even touched theirs yet.
Yeah, wow, already burning into 45 seconds of reserve time. And there we go, they were thinking about a somewhat different playstyle. Look, this is sort of a bit of an Asian playstyle here with the Night Stalker pickup, and then a strong Jakiro as well. Perhaps a semi-ban there, they don't want the Shadow Demon Jakiro combo, so by picking up the Jakiro themselves, obviously Orange can't have that.
Yeah, and I think the Night Stalker is going to be a really strong pick with TNC's playstyle.
Radiant team ban.
They usually go for a quite mid-game oriented, and with having the Batrider and both the Night Stalker, they'll definitely be able to have a really strong early game and mid game. It'll be very hard to take down all of your heroes, as they're quite tank. They've got really great mobility as well. Batrider's got the Firefly, and he'll have a blink up, and Night Stalker at night is uncatchable, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Another very strong support pick up by them, not revealing too much of their hand at this point. With just the Queen of Pain, the Shadow Demon and the Rubik, they're all versatile heroes and super strong in their own right. Now it's going to come down to the next ban phase and then the final two pickups to really reveal what Orange is going to be doing.
Both teams, Orange and TNC, are both banning out the carries now. We've got the Luna, the Sven, and the Bounty Hunter.
To ban.
And I only assume TNC is banning out the Bounty Hunter, as Orange doesn't quite have an offlaner yet. So Bounty Hunter is an incredibly strong offlaner who can, combined with heroes like Rubik and the Queen of Pain, who can nuke heroes down very fast. The Bounty Hunter might be able to, take down the supports of TNC. So very strong ban there by them.
Radiant team ban.
Naga Siren ban there as well. It's another carry, also a very strong teamfight controlling hero. So they might be looking to pick up one or two teamfight controlling heroes themselves and then deny the rest to TNC.
They obviously both have carry in mind. They're both banning very decisively. Then the Naga, Void and the Luna. Orange is... I think they're going to put a little bit of thought into this last ban, as they don't want to leave any ends open.
Yeah.
Down at the Nyx.
Radiant team pick.
I think that's a very good ban for them. Nyx probably wouldn't fit in their lineup at this point, but TNC could still use the Nyx. And in fact, a Nyx Night Stalker roaming combo would be just brutal, especially you sort of, once it's the first night time, the Nyx would be level 6 by that point. So you're going to get some really brutal ganks.
Oranges.
We see the Gyrocopter pick up from TNC. He's a hero that hasn't been seen much in competitive play, so it's definitely an interesting pick. Depends if they're going to take him as carrier or as a support though. His stun, homing missile, does have a fantastic supporting capabilities. It's low cooldown and fairly low mana cost. But he also can take on the carry role quite well with the flat cannon.
Yeah, not to mention just the rocket barrage, just his Q, even a level 1 nuke. If all the rockets hit on one person, it is just a brutal nuke. And we've seen that from a few teams, just sort of who run it as a support, and they just get some early points in the stun and the nuke, and they can just dominate a lane really strongly with that in something like a tri-lane or something. The stun just that little bit unreliable, so perhaps they need to set up. And Jakira's stun not also super reliable, so I'm not too sure. We probably won't see anything roaming from these guys, but it still might be a tri-lane.
Yeah. Well, Gyro is one of those really versatile heroes, as he can play a solo, or he can play a carry, or he can play a support, so it really depends on what their last pickup is. And they might have taken him for that reason, is that it still leaves their draft, quite versatile until they see the next pick from Orange. Now, Orange is the one who's digging into their reserve time. Both their teams are putting a lot of thought into what they're going to pick and what they're going to ban.
It's hard. I think they might be wanting to pick up a big hero like the PL here. They might want to save that to their last pick, but they also don't want TNT to grab that, so they might be forced to grab that sort of hero now. And then with the Gyro's support, a hero like a PL is still very viable.
Tiny.
They go for a Tiny. A little bit left field, but interesting, and it does suit their sort of burst gank lineup.
The Tiny is a very strong hero, especially if he gets farmed, so we might be seeing him on the safe lane just as a farmer. We'll go for that Arganim's Yasha, Phase Boots Drum type build, gives him a lot of mobility, a lot of DPS power.
10 seconds remaining.
The final pickup from
5
TNC now.
remaining.
So they've got at least two solo heroes with the Night Stalker and the Batrider. On support with the Jakiro, and it looks like the Gyrocopter will be taking the carry role in this team.
To pick.
Final pickup with the Earthshaker, who's a really good initiator. He's got great AoE potential, which will combo well with the Gyrocopter, and generally just a good all-around support.
Yeah, they definitely have something in mind with this Earthshaker pickup, and it's in these situations I really love seeing a pickup like the Earthshaker, because you know you're in for a little bit more of an interesting match.
Yeah, definitely.
At least it should be. I don't know, this Batrider could really get picked off if he goes off lane. He's a relatively good off lane hero, but I'm thinking against a Rubik, Shadow Demon, even a Tiny, if they do run the tri lane, as you said, the Tiny might be solo easy lane, and that's fine. But a Batrider, he might actually have to just go straight to the jungle, unless he's going to be playing mid, but the Night Stalker might be going mid.
Yeah, I think we'd see the Night Stalker. Night Stalker does decently well against the Queen of Pain.
10 seconds
Especially if he has some help with the ring roll from the Earthshaker and Jakiro.
Yes, there might have to be a secondary person just for that little while, just so the Queen of Pain doesn't get a huge advantage in the mid game.
For the trees.
The Furion pickup is the last from Orange. I suspect he'll be laning the Orange as his trees can pull the lane up to the tower, would give him some easy farm without ever having to play too aggressively. Once he gets a couple of levels of teleportation sprout, I think we'll see him all over the map.
Yeah, I think that rounds them out quite decently. They definitely needed some push and counter push, and split push, not to mention as well, with the global pushing from the Furion. So that's a very strong pick, and do TNC have any counter push to deal with that? I'm not too sure. So
I would definitely say
should
Gyro.
this go into mid and late game, I might put Orange at a little bit of an advantage.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think that with the Gyrocopter and the Earthshaker, they've got plenty of anti-push. Especially the THD as well. Those three heroes are going to be really, really strong against the Furion summons. Since the Gyrocopter's been played by Ninja Boogie, who is the carry player, I think he's going to have quite a lot of DPS items quite fast. Be able to stop any push that the Orange team goes for. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, you know, you're definitely right. When it comes down to the solo lane being pushed, absolutely they can kill off those treants really quickly, especially the flak cannon from the Gyro. That's just huge. But I guess if that Nature's Prophet's teleporting all the way around the map, things get a little bit harder, and at least it forces a couple of TPs away from Team TNC, and so we might see sort of a 5v4 engagement where the Prophet's off pushing, forces a teleport, and then teleports back in himself for a 5v4 fight.
We might even see the Gyrocopter pick up an Arcanum Scepter, which allows his ultimate, the Cooldown, to be cast globally. So if he gets that, whenever Furion does TP to a lane, he'll be able to cast his ultimate and potentially stop the push. It does do enough damage to kill a creep wave. That's a potential item we could see on Ninja Boogie. But it's about 4,000 gold he has to spend on DPS item, so I'm not sure if he's going to go for that.
This Night Stalker still has 400 gold, so he's only gone for 2 branches and 1 set of tangos, and he's not getting anything else pulled to him from the support, so he's going to the lane pretty bare, going to get a very fast bottle or perhaps an urn, but I'd say a bottle. And some fast phase boots as well, I assume.
Yeah, fast phase boots definitely. But yeah, in terms of players, we've got Ninja Boogie playing the Gyrocopter, Jesse Vash on the Batrider, Fox playing the THD, Rior playing the Night Stalker, and Chen on the Earthshaker.
Yeah, we've got X on the Rubik, Ice on the Shadow Demon, WW on the Nature's Prophet, Yamatea on the Tiny, and KYXY on the Queen of Pain. Sorry, I was looking elsewhere. And that rounds them out. Looks like Orange is going to go defend their pull camp, committing 4 heroes to that. And the Nature's Prophet not sending his treants to go try to pull the bottom lane, unless he's going to go do that right now.
Interestingly enough, I might be getting a fairy too now, yeah. I was just going to note that KYXY didn't actually have any regen, but he just got a self-port to him. A bit confused by that, thought it a bit dangerous to go mid lane without any kind of regen.
The battle begins. We can see Orange's WW, the Furion, has picked up a lot of regen items. I can assume he's going to be roaming as much as possible. He's actually been blocked out by a stun from the Earthshaker, which might... No, actually no, it won't stop him from getting lane, but it does put him in a bit of a precarious position if Aura Purple does decide to come from behind. PhD.
The fissure duration of 8 seconds, I'm not too sure if that's enough time for the Jakiro to get into position. Might be, and we'll see if he tries to rotate, but I don't think so. But yeah, the 3 clarities is potentially a little bit odd. Either he plans to use his treants quite actively in lane, or he plans to go to jungle a little bit later on, if he can't get much farm.
Are you watching bot at the moment?
Yes, I am indeed. The nature's profit getting very low here. The gyro stun comes in, and another Earthshaker stun comes in and gets the kill.
So I think he made a bit of a mistake by trying to walk back up the river, as Purple was waiting there for him. And I guess that's what they was hoping for. That was an ideal situation for TNC.
Yeah, it looks like they planned that, and that was very good. The initial stun from the Earthshake and then the follow-up from the gyro, forcing him to run down the river, and then with the Jakiro there waiting. That's a very, very strong little play by them. Very well done.
Yeah. Despite Chen's trying, he couldn't actually stop the Furion from pulling the creeps to his tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Queen of Pain has actually already formed up a bottle, which is very, very fast bottle, a minute bottle.
So was the Night Stalker though. They both went very, very economical builds. She had one salve and 3 branches, where the Night Stalker had 2 branches and 1 tango. So both very, very wanting a fast bottle to dominate this mid lane.
Yeah.
This Bat Rider has gone straight to the jungle as well, leaving 3 at top. So we're probably going to see the Rubik and Shadow Demon maybe get a couple of levels from the stacking and pulling, just to help control this lane sort of thing, and then they might start to roam and maybe contest this tri-lane at bottom. Maybe.
You can see, like the Stalker doesn't have much faith in him getting any runes, as he's just left the bottle, the crow there to bottle crow. I guess he feels that he's not going to be able to contest the runes with the Queen of Pain blinking.
Yeah.
So the 2 supports are kind of camping the bot rune. Not quite, but it's in the area. Like the 2 supports might be going for a smoke up and a gank. They have at top the Shadow Demon and the Rubik's popped a smoke. Looks like they're going to be heading mid. Probably going quite aggressive on the Night Stalker if he doesn't play a bit safer.
In replays, the wards don't show up as the actual ward icon. That's a little bit confusing. It just shows up as a little dot. Yeah, that makes it a little bit harder for me to see the ward positions, but nonetheless. Radiant didn't actually have a ward to cover any of that. Not like they would have seen that since they smoked anyway, unless they had a sentry down. The Earthshake has actually rotated mid. They're suspecting perhaps a rotation, as you said, from the Rubik and the Shadow Demon. So he's rotated mid just to help out with the lane a little. At least to make sure he doesn't get jumped by the Queen of Pain. So that's very smart by them. And in fact, if this Queen of Pain does dive in, Fissure could
That's
go on
actually picked up the invis rune, so I think they suspect that something is going to happen in mid now. Night Stalker is leveling decently well. He's on par with the Queen of Pain. A couple of experience behind. That's definitely going to be useful when it comes to the first night where he really needs to dominate and get some kills.
Roots and run!
The Bat Rider just camped the top. He's actually just going to take it. I think he gets to see the Queen of Pain was heading up. Didn't want to give her that chance, so just taking the rune. Gonna do a little bit of wandering around while they wait for to happen, possibly an opportunity to go on the Queen of Pain. They know they haven't got much of a chance to kill the Fury on bot, as he can just TP out, and he's tower hugging so hard.
Both of these carries very, very even in the last hit. Both spending exactly 25 at the moment. Gyro just pulls a hit to 26, and as I say, Tiny gets 26 as well. A couple more denies for the Gyro, but that won't really matter too
Radiant's
much in
top
terms of
tower
farm for
is
these two
under
heroes.
attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This Bat Rider is now sort of forced back into the top lane just to try to defend this, because the Dire is committing 3 heroes to try to push down this tier 1 tower. And now he's in a little bit of an awkward position. They could potentially just dive on him. This Firefly's going to run out soon. We'll see if he plays it risky. He will probably get punished for that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top
I
tower
guess he was just
has
trying to stay in
fallen.
EXP range.
Yeah. Very dangerous for him is that he is actually level 5 compared to the solo's level 3. That's never really a good state to be in. The same level and even level in the Rubik, the two supports. Definitely not having a happy game.
I'm very interested to see what build this Nature's Prophet's going to go for this game. Is he going to go for a bit more of a utility build, or is he going to try get a little more right clicks? I assume he's going to go a little bit more utility with like a sheep stick or something like that, and use the Tiny as the main DPS for the team.
Yeah, I imagine he'll probably be picking up something like a mech, possibly an urn. It looks like the jar is actually for a Midas first item. 6 minute Midas is, sorry, 6 minutes. 6 minute Midas is quite actually fast, and you should definitely see his farm increase quite a lot after he's grabbed that up.
Yeah, big kill on the bat rider there.
Initiation top. Glad you grabbed that.
Yep, just a little bit out of position there. The Rubik actually had an invis rune on top, so the bat rider would have just thought it's Tiny by himself, in which case, as long as you can survive the combo, you can pretty much just firefly away safely. The Tiny, not the fastest hero in the game. But the Rubik was there and was able to punish that bat rider, and he's going to go back into the lane instead of back to the jungle. A little bit dangerous by him, but I guess the Rubik can't have another invis at this point.
Interestingly enough, the Night Stalker hasn't actually picked up his ultimate. Often you'll see people pick up their ultimate on Night Stalker just so they can cast it during the first night to extend it. But I guess the Night Stalker feels that he's not going to be able to get too many. In fact, he just died in mid.
Wow.
Queen of Pain. Did you see that?
Did I see that? Yes. The Queen of Pain blinked in, put a combo, and the Earthshaker was not there to save it. He was there, but his fissure came in once the Night Stalker had died, so a little bit unfortunate. But the speed of the Queen of Pain is just so huge. You can blink in and throw out your combo in like 1 second, and the Earthshaker obviously just can't stop that. It was a good attempt by him, definitely, and the Earthshaker, I guess, definitely needed to be there to try at least prevent it from happening. But the Queen of Pain didn't have a bar of it and went in anyway, got the kill. The ultimate was used for it though, so that's not going to be up for another 100 seconds at this point.
But as I was saying, his skill is quite interesting on the Night Stalker, as he hasn't gone for any levels of Crippling Fear or his ultimate. And frequently you'll see people take 1 level of Darkness as well as 1 level of Silent. They can extend the first night and try and get as many ganks as
They
possible.
might be able to kill off this Shadow Demon here, and in fact, yeah, the Night Stalker does catch up and will be able to get the kill.
That Rider for him quite nicely and starts chasing after X, the Shadow Demon, and the Rubik, and that gives a double kill to the Night Stalker.
It was really unfortunate. I don't know if you saw it. The Bat Rider was heading for the Haste Rune, and the Shadow Demon was trying to disrupt him so that he himself could get the Haste Rune, and then he'd be able to get out safely. But the Bat Rider just got it before the disruption, and so then as soon as he pops out of disruption, obviously now the Shadow Demon's very slow, and you've got a very fast Bat Rider who can continue catching up, putting Napalm and Flame Break him back as well. So that was a really big deal. I think if he got that Haste Rune, he would have been fine, but not the case this game, and that sets up Night Stalker with a double kill.
That's definitely be very useful for the Night Stalker, who was not doing so well. In terms of farm, he's on par with the Queen of Pain, but he really needed some good early kills in this first night, and that gave him exactly what he needed, a nice double kill on the 2 supports.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tiny going for a Trums this game, so he really wants to make something happen early game.
Bottom tower is under
He is
attack.
pushing with this as well, so with the drums he's that little bit safer. He can always stun and sort of just drum himself out of there. I don't think the Bat Rider's level 6, so we can't see a lasso just yet. He will pop 6 soon, so there might be a rotate. In fact, it looks like there's going to be a bit of a find, and disruption comes already, and the Earthshaker Fissure follows. The Night Stalker's going to be able to get in position regardless. Finish off the kill. Is there anything else going to happen with this? Nice path from the low ground, a little bit defensive. Queen of Pain opts to blink out, and the Rubik and Tiny are potentially a little bit out of position here. The Rubik will see them. They might actually be able to convert this into a kill on the Bat Rider. He can just get out and play safe. I think if they hid just a little bit and waited for the wave to push up just a little bit more, they might have been able to come from behind.
It looks like Boogie's just going to be farming in the jungle a little bit. The supports have stacked the camps for him and using his flight con, and he's able to take down, I think it's 3 stacks on that medium camp there, a couple of seconds, so... In terms of gold, the Dire was actually winning, but after that fight there, and Ninja Boogie's extra bit of fun there, they have actually caught up and it's dead even on the gold graph and the experience graph.
Yeah, this has been a pretty successful nighttime so far for this Night Stalker. He did get picked off, as you said a little bit earlier on, but being able to get 3 kills after that is quite nice. Quite often you see a Night Stalker, you know, in the first nighttime phase in a pro game, they just don't achieve as much. Everyone understands that the Night Stalker is going to be roaming and doing laps around the jungle and whatnot, trying to pick heroes off. So people just tower hug, put lots of wards down and play it safe. But he has managed to get 3 kills, which is really quite a big deal. If he can continue snowballing from this, get his PKB up, as you can see, he's working towards. That'd be quite good for them. Especially before this Tiny works up any big sort of attack speed or Aghanims.
He still hasn't put any points in darkness, which... I mean, I'm sure he knows better than I do, but I do think the darkness would definitely help, especially since he does want to keep snowballing. And down bot lane, we do see initiation.
Wow, the power of Gyro. He's getting 2 versus 1 at the moment, and he also almost converted to a double kill. In fact, that Tiny is sitting on about 30 HP, so 1 right click away. And that Nature's forced to self himself up. Very dangerous. The Batrider's here now, so he'll be able to convert this, I think. The Queen of Pain rotated as well. So very strong. It's a 2-for-1 trade at this point. Oh no, it's not. The Jakiro got picked off. Silence. There you go, this Night Stalker just so fast at this point. Queen of Pain blinks in, tries to do some damage, but it's just not enough to save the Shadow Demon at this point. These supports are so squishy at the moment that they need to be tower hugging, or at least playing as 5-man.
And bot lane, I missed it, but the Batrider almost about 30 health, almost got a kill on the Furion. So Furion tried to TP out, the Batrider used Lasso on him, but Furion just TP'd out in time.
The Tiny got out as well, I assume? Not sure.
No, Tiny actually died Batrider. When the Batrider rotated in,
he did, excellent, yeah.
Lane break, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Batrider's still a whiles away from a Blink Dagger. Only at 600 gold at the moment.
Yeah, I think we might see a rotation between the carry, Ninja Boogie and Jesse Vash down bot, because Jesse definitely needs his Blink Dagger up soon so he can start becoming a really effective ganker. And Ninja Boogie's got enough items up at the moment. Almost got his BKB, we'll have up soon with his Midas farm. But he's just going to take some bit of hard lane farm while the Batrider takes the easy lane. Might not be so easy with the Tiny and the Furion waiting in the jungle there for the gank.
I was just about to say that. Might not be the easy lane at this point with 3 heroes from Dire looking to pounce on this tower and potentially get a hero kill as well if they can snag it. Just as we said that, the Corp does dive on the Earthshaker. Looks like he'll be able to get out of there. He still hasn't used his fissure, so if there is another blink in, we can probably fissure. He does fissure, and there's a TP in as well. Echo Slayer's forward, almost gets the claw of the Queen of Pain before dropping, but the Night Stalker does pick up the kill anyway, so not a huge loss at the moment. This Furion getting chased by the Night Stalker as well. Just the superior movement speed. Oh, and unlucky, the Sprout actually gets the Night Stalker inside it as well, so he's unable to TP away. As I say that, the Batrider, any action going over here? I don't think so. Wow, that was a very good fight for them. Really nice TP by that Night Stalker. It's a shame the Earthshaker had to drop. The Queen of Pain was so close. Speaking of the Night Stalker, still continuing on this, and the Rubik out of position as well. This is going to make
Here comes the
Tiny as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ninja Boogie's just going to TP out from that one. Very close though, almost got the disruption on him. Night Stalker might actually die.
Yeah, it looks like he will. The Fidget Set is safe, and the Queen of Pain should be able to blink and finish off this kill soon enough. Oh, perfect ice path. Stuns just as the blink comes in, but it's still not quite enough. The Night Stalker does get dropped from it. The Earthshake is still hanging around, doesn't have his ultimate at this point. The Jakiro gets picked off, now the Earthshake is looking in a pretty bad position. Bat Rider joins the fight as well, in an awkward position himself. Trying to 3 vs 1, gets the lasso off, so he should be able to bring down this Queen of Pain before dying to the Shadow Demon and the Furion. And the Rubik, I didn't even see the Rubik come in. This Earthshake is still lurking around these trees. I think he really needs to get back at this point, or he'll just get dived.
Queen of Pain just gets out of 200 health. It's very, very close.
Oh, the Queen of Pain didn't drop in that.
No, she managed to blink out the last second.
Well, that's very, very nice. Double TP's hit now at this point. I think if they let that Night Stalker come in first, that might have been a little bit better, but the Jakiro TP'd in first, and so they can't catch up to this Furion. Perhaps a little bit of a miscommunication. Maybe they were wanting the Ice Path to come out, and it did, but they were still a little bit out of range.
So I've got a slight lull. I'm just gonna have a look at the items, just to see how everyone's going. We can see Ninja Boogie. He's going for his BKB up. He just needs a recipe now since he's just got enough gold for the Mithril Hammer. And once he's got that, I think we can expect to see him a lot more active in the team fights. Jesse, getting there towards his link, still needs a fair bit, at least 1k.
Yeah, it's a shame he had to die then. If he would have converted that Queen of Pain kill, and somehow if that Earthshaker was able to fissure and get him out of there, he'd have quite a substantially more gold at the moment.
He's definitely having a high game.
Still over, what, 1.5k? Well, not over, but yeah, over a k left on his...
Yeah, Night Stalker's about 1k to BKB. Earthshake is nowhere near his Link Dagger. In terms of the Dire, the Furion has picked the mech. He got that a little while ago. Definitely with the team being active. Like right now, there's going to be the gank on the Night Stalker. My game is froze.
Well, I was thinking for just one moment there that he would have been able to get out. The disruption of the lift wasn't coming, but it did right at the end there, so they do convert that to a kill from the Night Stalker. Very nicely rotated by them. I wish I could see these wards better on the map so I can point out the sort of vision. It doesn't look like Radiant have much vision at all, and especially in the bottom area. They've got one on the high ground here for the top rune. But Dire with multiple wards everywhere.
Do you mind just telling me what point in the game you're up to, just because my game just froze?
At the moment I'm at 32-13.
32-15.
32-20 at the moment.
Is under attack.
Sorry, that's quite weird. I think I hit a wrong button.
Dire's middle tower
But I didn't
is
like
under
that.
attack.
I see. That's good. 3 committed bottom here. They should be able to bring this tower down. The fortification is up for the Radiant, so they have TP to look to defend this. Is it in deny range? It will be now, so they should just deny that, which would be very nice for them.
Radiant's bottom
They don't
deny
get the
this
deny. That's a little bit unfortunate.
It looks like KYXY probably going to be going for that Hex Rush. Be really quite useful. It's the Night Stalker, the Bat Rider, and the Gyro, provided she can get it off before they get their BKBs off. So it's probably going to be a case of who initiates on who at this point.
Yeah, at this point it's getting a little bit rough. Like the Bat Rider would probably like to blink in and be able to take the Tiny, but he would sort of really like to be able to blink in and lasso the Queen of Pain as well, especially once that next core item's up for the Queen of Pain. Things get a lot more difficult in terms of teamfight control. We could just see a silence on the Tiny and then the lasso on the Queen of Pain. I think that might be the way to go for this when we see a clash.
Yeah, I definitely think that his silence will be enough to stop the Queen of Pain, whereas the Tiny's got that huge DPS. I mean, at the moment he's only level 12 and he doesn't have his Arcanims up and he's doing 240 damage per
Radiant's
hit.
top tower is under attack.
It's going to be quite devastating when he does get that
Radiant
Arcanims up.
structures are fortified.
They're looking to go on this. The stun's coming from the Gyro. The Bat Rider's in position. He doesn't have his blink, but the lasso is up. Should be able to get the Shadow Demon for free without using the lasso. The lasso is here. Is he going to get it on the Tiny and then bring it back? No, they decide against it.
I think they can't catch up to the Tiny.
It is still nighttime, so
Basically dropped.
I thought perhaps they might have been able to convert that into a kill. Perhaps not.
Meanwhile, WW is just pushing down mid a little bit. Gonna rotate bot and just keep the pressure on.
we look at gold and experience, not sure when you last checked that, but it's about a 4,000 gold favor of the Dire actually, sorry. And it's about 2,000 in favor of the Dire, so I think you'd be expecting a little more in favor of the Radiant. Well, it looks like Tiny might be trying to initiate a gyrocopter here. Nice follow up by the Earthshaker and the Ice Power. They do manage to get some kill with the gyrocopter ult. And chasing after the Rubik Shadow Demon. Another good Ice Path by the THD, followed up with the Macropile. But it... Oh no, they're possibly gonna be able to catch him.
The mech gets in there, that's very, very nice. They should be able to both get away. In fact, his Furion might have overcommitted on that, and he's going to drop himself. The Gyro's off busy chasing their Shadow Demon, who doesn't have a disruption to cancel the stun, so the Shadow Demon drops immediately. Another big fight in mid, so the rotations come from the Radiant through the sort of the middle of the map and cut them off and save the Jakiro. So that's a 5-for-0 wipe there. So that's very nicely played by them, and they should be able to convert this into 1 or 2 tower pushes. They probably won't be able to take the mid, but they should take the top, which would be very nice for them. That sort of even out this push and get this gold graph. As you said, we've got quite a huge advantage in favour of the Dire, but that's largely just because of the push. You know, when the push was even, I think the Gyro Handamitis might put them a little bit in the lead. Not to mention that the Gyro actually does have more CS from this Tiny, 151 to 120. So that's quite a big deal there. The Gyro is out farming the Tiny in CS as well as a Handamitis.
I think it should definitely be quite an even game. When it hits the mid game, both Tiny and the Gyrocopter have got huge AoE potential. The Tiny's going to have his gigantic cleave, whereas the Gyrocopter's going to have the flat cannon, so... As I said, I think it's going to come down on who initiates on who. The Batright can get a really nice grab on the Tiny and they can take him down in seconds, but if the Tiny manages to, you know, come in first, or the Queen of Pain gets the Blink Hex off...
Yeah, I'd love to see some really brutal, like maybe a smoke gank into a really nice fissure to just completely cut the team in half, drop a cooldown on top of that or something, and just pick off 2 heroes before the fight even starts without using the lasso, and then to be able to blink in and lasso to just pick off another one would be absolutely amazing. They would get 3 essentially kills for free, just because of the superior positioning and initiation. Of course, that's a lot easier said than done.
Speaking of the Batrider, his farm has actually gone up quite significantly. 5 minutes ago he did his blink up and now he's got a blink and an urn, so he picked up a lot of items and will definitely be helping him be able to be quite effective in team fights now, as well as being able to prolong the push with the urn charges. We do actually see smoke by the THD on the Batrider and the Earthshaker. It looks like they're just going to follow around the Ninja Boogie on the Gyro, waiting for maybe the Queen of Pain to initiate on him. Looks like the Furion's actually going to be rushing a Hex as well. Got the ultimate orb up. He's not farming quite as fast as I would be expecting for a Furion, but he has died 3 times.
Yeah, I guess
now he's just going to take time to farm in the jungle.
As you did say earlier on in the game during the draft though, like it feels like he teleports to a lane, gets his treants off, and then the treants just get taken out, so he doesn't use them to actually push the lane. And because the cooldown's so great on those treants, you know, he can sort of teleport to one other lane, but then he's just left to try right click at that point. And then he's got to teleport out to participate into gank, so naturally his farm's going to be a little bit lower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
For this game anyway, it's not like he's been AFK farming in the jungle for the entire game.
Oh yeah, of course he's not a pub Furion, he's an active Furion. But I was going to say, if we have a look at the gold graph now, even though it was about a 5,000 in favour of the Dire, it's dead even at the moment. Definitely shows those kills by the Radiant team, so helped even it out a lot. As well as getting things like the mid tower down.
Oh no, I eat my words, I guess. I said before they would definitely get the tier 1 top, but they probably wouldn't get the tier 1 mid before the respawns came out. Oddly enough, it was the complete reverse.
Tier 1 mid, tier 1 top standing. That's because the Tiny teleported to the top lane and I just felt it wasn't worth trying to fight a Tiny. Especially since I'm pretty sure Ninja Boogie's BKB was on cooldown. This Ninja Boogie's bait pretty hard in mid.
Dire's
I'm
middle
really sure the
tower
Dire
is
knows
under
what's
attack.
going on and knows that the allies are all standing behind, so they're not quite confident to go on it, but they're just gonna, be content with trying to trade for the top tower, which I think Ninja Boogie's aware of, and he's just gonna TP right in, cast that flat cannon to clear the whole wave.
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
So he's hit level 16 now, and the Night Stalker's level 15, where the Tiny and the Quap for the Dire are only level 14. A little bit of a level discrepancy, shouldn't hurt too much, but the Queen of Pain and the Tiny would really like their level 3 and ultimates at this point. Especially if it continues to be nighttime and this Night Stalker's a little bit more active. Roshan
This is
attempt
the
for
rush
the...
attempt.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The Arcanine is actually up on Yamato, which I think will have quite a big impact in teamfights if you can get some damage off. Really depends, as I said, with Batrider. If the Batrider gets the grab on him, probably going to get eaten down before he can actually cast any spells. But the Arcanine is Roshan.
Immortality.
Oh, they are going to come with this. They get the Aegis, but there's a huge cooldown on Ice Path in immediately. Night Stalker's running around, getting kind of defended by the campaign drops, so she had the Aegis, so that just gets blocked. The Gyro kills the Shadow Demon, and the Tiny is sort of just locked into position there. Rocket Barrage just on him, Night Stalker right-clicking around him, he didn't stand too much of a chance. Queen of Pain, obviously, after the Aegis pops, just manages to blink out, so she's fine, but a 2-for-0 trade there, and popping the Aegis. So I'd say that'd be a favourable trade for the Radiant.
Definitely, and interesting that Batrider didn't even use his Flaming Lasso that fight. Decided that he didn't need it till the Tiny. The Earthshaker did use the Echo Slam just on the Tiny though, so possibly that's why they didn't want to use too many alternates to take him down when they didn't need to. Queen of Pain's going to initiate Ninja Boogie in mid. Blinks in, uses a Hex, uses a Sonic Wave as well as a Scream, and he just falls.
Oh yeah, I had Gyro selected and I was just watching his HP drop from about 4 to 0 in 1 second. I was like, oh, I've obviously missed a fight. It must have been an ultimate use from the Queen of Pain, and it was indeed, just as you said. So, very strong burst. That's exactly what we expect, and it might be what's going to keep them in this game.
I think they should do that. It was a gank by KOA and WW, the Furion and the Queen of Pain on the Chikiro. They just used the tree trap on him. Queen of Pain just nuked him down a little bit. There wasn't much he could do. He was already quite low, as I understand it. I'm waiting for some kind of change in this gold graph, but it's still just dead even. Really, the Dire did grab the Roshan, which gave them a gold advantage. They just lost the advantage straight away by losing the Aegis as well as 2 kills, so it's a very, very even game. And the Night Stalker's actually picked a Reaver. Looks like he's not going to go for the Arcanine spills or Armlet or anything like that. He's just going to go straight for a heart. I think he's just going to be the initiation, probably. Just dive right in and put as much damage as he can while he silences the Queen of Pain.
Both teams just sort of farming up a little bit. Is there any big core items coming up soon? As you talked about, the Night Stalker is getting relatively close to his heart, so they might be waiting for that. There's a Blink Dagger up in the Earthshaker now, so that's quite nice. Still a while away. Oh no, this Nature's Prophet is getting fairly close to his next item, which would be really good for them.
And Ninja Boogie's holding under almost 5k. So
Oh, yeah.
I suspect we could eat maybe a Manta, possibly a Butterfly, which will counter the Tiny quite well as the Furion's damage. He might also just be saving it for the back.
Yeah, I'd say he would be. At this point, they really don't want to get a team wipe, and then a Rack's lost. I would put them arguably at an advantage at this point, and the last thing you want is for that to just be thrown by some
Yeah, definitely.
arguably unlucky team wipe or something like that.
We're seeing a smoke gank in mid. The Queen of Pain, the Rubik, and the Shadow Demon are all smoked up. And he might run into the Gyro here. He does get hexed straight away. The Sonic Wave, Scream, Rubik, Nuke, Grab, but he managed to pop the BKB. Night Stalker rotates in. Actually, links in, that was taking down the Shadow Demon and KYXY.
Enjoy your nap!
That was a really great trade there.
They were very close to falling. He managed to stop the BKB just in time and score a kill from that. And it looks like they're just going to go on Yamato as well. He was just out of position a little bit. Ice Path, Macro Pirate, all the nukes from the Night Stalker, the Earthshaker. He managed to fall in seconds.
You say trade like TNC actually lost something out of that. From what I understand, that he didn't. The Gyro got close, but he pops the BKB, turns around, puts his ulti down, turns on Flak, and he converts it into kills. So that was very nicely played by them. And now they are going to get this tier 1 in top. I'm not eating my words this time.
He doesn't have any money for buyout at the moment, but I guess he feels like he's going to be able to farm it up fast enough.
I think that's quite smart. Like even with a really good initiation by Orange, he still survived that, managed to pop his BKB and sort of live. So with the extra armor coming from the Butterfly and the evasion, he's going to be even harder to kill. So I think that's probably the smart choice. They should just be able to end this very, very soon.
Experience just picked up his hack now.
Thanks.
I think the Queen of Pain probably is doing a lot more roaming now. Possibly. If they get some aggressive wards up for Orange. Queen of Pain Furion combo should take down any hero, but it just depends on how much TNC is sticking, which it looks like quite a lot if you look at them farming the same camp together in their enemy jungle. Tiny's gonna get picked off, possibly. Oh, that was a very unlucky blink in by the Batrider. Blinked in and auto attack managed to stun him and he missed the flaming lasso and they're just gonna back off now.
Oh no, the TP profits in, gets the Sprout. Not overly effective. The Batrider does manage to blink away and save himself. The Earthshaker, not so lucky, wasn't able to blink away himself. Only one loss there. That could have been a lot worse. Although it could have also been a lot better there. As you said, blink initiation from Batrider just wasn't quite as they intended. That Tiny should have gone down and that would have been a huge kill. They would have been able to convert that to another tier 2 push and that would have been huge. This Gyro, actually, I haven't actually looked at his skill build. I sort of figured it'd be something like this just because of the carry roll, but yeah, only 2 points in the Rocket Barrage and only 1 point in the Homing Missile. In lane, he didn't have to skill up any of those abilities just because he wasn't contested and it was absolute free farm, so naturally he just put more points into stats. And that's working out for him absolutely fantastically right now.
That's definitely going to be very helpful, especially since he does need to tank up a little bit, because the enemy team does have, you know, those 2 blinks and a lot of disables. So if you can't get the BKB off, it's not going to be much use in the Rocket Barrage if you just drop straight away, whereas the stats have a little bit more survivability. As we can see, there's a couple more aggressive wards placed by Orange. They've got that one on the top in there. And I think they'll hope to, you know, turn it into a couple of kills with the Furion Queen of Pain mobility combo, but it's just not working out that way as TNC are really, really hugging close together.
Oh, Batrider's getting very close to spotting out the Tiny and he does indeed. He blinks in, lasso straight away. Ice Path's there to follow up. He's not even going to get out of there. Jakiro ulti used for that, although I guess it didn't have to be. Echo Slam was not used for that, so they should be able to convert this and take another team fight as well. The huge damage from the Echo Slam. That was very nicely done by them. They didn't actually have wards for that, I don't think. He was farming the hard camp, not the easy camp, which the wards are there for.
Radiant's bottom tower
Very nicely done by the Batrider.
But this is good showing by Orange here, as they have got the Furion as well as the Queen of Pain and the Shadow Demon both on bot. Furion's kind of baiting a TP in just to make the enemy team back off. Now just going to TP it out as they have made the Earthshaker. The whole team actually has just returned back to the bottom lane, so they're not going to... TNC's not going to push that mid tower down. But I think both teams are going to be playing it quite safe as the Roshan is up in about 2 minutes. You don't want to lose any kind of advantage that would lose them the Roshan, as this next Roshan will be quite critical. We had a look at the gold experience graphs recently.
I did actually, and it has spiked a little bit out of control now. The XP, at like 11k. It was only at 7 a second ago, and gold now at 4k. So that's really nice to see the graph coming back in the Radiant's favour after being in dire pretty much the whole game.
Dire's
Another
bottom
interesting
tower is under attack.
thing to note is the buyback status, as the only heroes that have buyback at the moment are the Queen of Pain and the Furion, and they're quite aware that if they get taken out, they're going to need to buy out. They can't afford to be down, and they are the main nuke damage in the team.
Yeah, you're definitely
Dire's
right. This
bottom
is quite
tower
interesting.
is
The
under
fact that
attack.
there's a no for all of the Radiant really just does prove like they're really confident that they're
Dire's
ahead here and
bottom
that they can
tower
take
has
this
fallen.
fight. And they're not going to need the buybacks. And if one or two heroes like the Jakiro or the Earthshaker, the supports, if they do get dropped, well, they can afford to wait it out at this point, I think.
Furion's going to... I was thinking about TPing him behind, but TNC does back off just a little bit, and he doesn't want to be in that aggressive position if his allies aren't ready to back him up. Yeah, and they're all camping around Roshan now. TNC knows they're going to get some Aegis, or they really want to get this Aegis, so they could straight away turn into a Rax push. But Jari does TP mid, sorry, not mid, he does TP top, just to clear the wave a bit, as he's a bit worried about WW, the Furion, going to go for the Rax if they do go for the Roshan.
Yeah, exactly. That's the last thing you need, to be taking Roshan and sort of have to worry about your Rax being pushed to bottom from split pushing natures. And realistically, if they were to go for a Roshan, Dire, I'm not too sure they could contest it, so the smart thing would be to go and push that top lane. Which now, that's not an option because it's so counter-pushed. So when the Roshan is up, which it is now, if the Radiant do go for it, it should be relatively uncontested. I think Dire will be forced to contest it. But I think it might be a bit of a losing fight for them at this point.
I think that's definitely one of the different things, is that at this point either team could turn it into a Rax. As Tiny, he's going to eat through towers. He's level 17, so he's got level 3 Grow, he's got his Arganims, he's got a Hyperstone, and he's got the Yasha. If he gets the opportunity, he's just going to be able to eat through the towers and the Rax. He goes for the Roshan and attempt. WW does send the trees in, but they are aware that Ninja Boogie is taking the Rosh. This is a little bit of a fake initiation. That still
Roshan
does
has fallen to the Radiant.
open his BKB, so it will be on cooldown if there is a fight now, but it looks like Orange is not going to contest it. They know that it's a losing fight. They're just going to back off, and I think they're just going to try and turtle for the next 6 minutes and stop TNC from taking Rax as much as they can, though it will be quite difficult.
Full pushing in mid now, with the Earthshaker ready for a Blink Echo Slam if he needs to be. That's a very strong push, and the Tiny is forced to teleport back. They will go on this any second.
Is under attack.
Fortification's not up for them. The tower's about to drop. The tower is dropped, so now it's just the naked Rax. There's still just a little bit of pressuring. It's not a huge committed fight at this point. No ultimates used.
Well, I have used both the Hectors, the Queen of Pain and the Furion. Both of them were used on Ninja Boogie, but they only managed to take him down.
Here we go, the fight's going down, the cooldown's used, the BKB popped on the Gyro, the Bang Rider blinks in, grabs the lasso, the Tiny instantly disrupted to save him a little bit of HP, but he still drops so quickly. The Night Stalker comes in, adds to the GPS. The Aegis actually gets popped, which I didn't think the Gyro was getting wailed on so hard, but he was. Rubik actually steals lasso, it does a bit of a cheeky lasso on the Earthshaker, gets the kill on them. So it is 3 heroes down, and they're continuing to do the fighting here. It looks like Gyro's going to get picked off again. He does first get a kill on the Rubik, but this Tiny should be able to kill him.
A lot of buybacks that fight.
That fight was actually quite good for the Dire.
However, they did have so many buybacks.
How many were the buybacks? Wow.
Buyback on the Gyro, the Queen of Pain, the Furion, the Tiny. There's 4 buybacks for one fight. 3 of them were from the Dire.
Maybe not such a good fight for the Dire. Although they are all up now, so will they be able to get tier 3 of their own? I'm not too sure. The Earthshaker and the Jakiro, who are both relatively good at total, are just about to be back up. And the
Boogie did
Bat
buy
Rider
it as
also
well.
too.
don't think they're going to be able to put this into a push. How they
Yeah.
did it in the rack, so can't complain about that. Furion has got 2.4k up at the moment, even though he did buy out. He's quite a rich man at the moment. Actually, maybe the Queen of Pain did buy out, since her buyback is actually ready. Did she buy out that fight? I thought she did.
No, I guess not. In the buyout status, it shows 3 buyouts from the one from the Gyro, one from the Tiny, and one from the Furion. So 2 from the Dire, 1 from the Radiant.
I must have misread before. Oh, and the Gyrocopter has actually picked up a Satanic. He's going to be very hard to take down now unless they use all the hexes and all the nukes on him. If they do that, then the Nightstalker's just going to run wild with his heart.
Yeah, it's
There
very
is going to be a
scary.
smoke. There's going to be a smoke popped by TNC. Looks like going to be running quite aggressively. Possibly even going into the mid. It looks like they're going to go for the racks, and the Furion has popped the trees, trying defending as much as he can. Queen of Pain might be looking. No, she's just going to tip you back. She's not going to try and split push and bait them back. They
Dire's
have got the
middle
fortify
barracks
up,
are under
so that
attack.
will definitely help.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Nightstalker's got an Invis rune in mid. They're just going to use the illusion to just beat down the racks. It's only on 200 health now. TNC is definitely going to get in the next wave. Rangers just biding their time. Furion's resummoning the trees. Just gonna nuke that wave down as much as they can.
Oh, that was
Queen of Pain is
very nice
in.
stuff out. Wow, that was very close. Tiny was just doing a lot of harass on the Gyro there, and once he got to about half health, then also jumped in and really committed to trying to burst that Gyro down just a little bit more. I think the Sonic Wave did actually hit, but it was just a little bit too tanky. And they did convert this to a 2-for-1 so far, 3-for-1 with the Rubik just popping down.
You'll be knocked, but
And they have rotated now. They do look to take the tier 3 and the racks in pot. That'll be 2 racks down for the Dire.
Dire's
Very
bottom
precarious
tower
situation.
has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Rubik stole darkness. That's gonna be huge. I'm assuming when Rubik steals darkness is actually useless. It just converts it to nighttime and makes it even better for the Night Stalker, I assume.
Yeah,
There's no hidden benefit for the Rubik.
I don't think
that's
so.
dopey. I've never actually tested that myself, so.
Well, he doesn't have the passive. The only reason he gets good is because of the passive, so if I had a Luna maybe it'd be helpful, but I see Orange pop a smoke. I think it's kind of a last effort. I'm gonna try and pick a hero off and maybe get a Rax from it. As I've said, it's gonna be quite difficult for them as TNC are just hugging very hard. I think they know the smoke has been popped as they are just sitting in the base at the moment. Biding their time.
AC up on the Tiny now, which will definitely help him, give him that little bit more survivability with the armor. Obviously he's a strength hero, so the extra armor is quite a huge deal when it comes to effective hit points. And the attack speed is quite good on a Tiny who naturally has a terrible attack time. I think it might be a little bit too little too late. If he had the AC about 10 minutes ago, that would be absolutely brutal, I think.
Well, yeah, when you compare him the net worth of the Gyrocopter, he just doesn't compare. Tiny and the Queen of Pain both 1.5, approximately 1.5 to value, whereas the Gyrocopter is almost 30k. Not 1.5k, 15k. English good, sorry. BA is almost double of theirs. Garikov is going to be very, very hard to
Ryder
take
wants to
down.
pick someone off. He does a blind blink hit, but doesn't actually find anyone.
Orange has actually got 4 wards up on the map now. They're obviously playing very, very safe. They want to have as much vision as possible. They can know where the
Dire's top
enemy
tower is under attack.
It looks like they're going to
Radiant's
try
bottom
and possibly
tower.
trade for bot
Dire's top tower has
for the top.
fallen.
As I said, Tiny can just rip through those towers and
Radiant's
Raxes, so if they give him a
are
couple
fortified.
of seconds of
Radiant's bottom
free
barracks
push,
are
they'll
under
definitely
attack.
be able to get these Raxes down,
Dire's
especially with the
top
Queen of
tower
Pain help.
is under attack.
You're right, he is eating
Radiant's
through those
bottom
racks.
barracks
He's got the
has
entire
fallen.
bot racks down.
Radiant's
And
bottom
they're just going to
barracks
base trade
has
this by the
fallen.
look of it. He's straight onto the tier 4s, smashing down the
Dire's top
towers and going to try to
barracks
throw it.
Dire's
I
top
think there will have to be
barracks
teleports coming from
Warriors
the
of the
Radiant.
Wood.
He's just eating them down so quick.
Slamming.
We're going to see. Looks like the Night Stalker is going to TP back. BKB is popped. Tiny is trying to hit him down. Tiny doesn't have any kind of life steal, so there's not so much you can do against him.
Let's pull the wrong guy, and that'll spell the end of the Tiny and the Queen of Pain. Fury tries to run out of there.
Sacred Grove.
Not able to do so. That was very close. I think it was an extra couple of seconds. Maybe if there was some
I'm
sort of
glad
reverse
to
polarity
leave
or
that
something up the
place.
top, just to buy that little extra time, they might have been able to throw it there. Not the
I really think this
case.
Tiny needs life steal. They might actually be able to get a pick on the Bat Rider. Fury does use the tree trap now. Rider's just going to fire for his out of there. Quick Pain blinks in, does manage to get the Hex off. Fury and Sex is up just now, but I think he's going to need to cast it. He'll just be able to hit him down while he's got slowed from the Shadow Strike.
Oh, apparently there's an AC up on the Night Stalker now as well. For a long time, all he had there was the big head in the heart, and he didn't have so much money. But I guess with the last couple of pushes there, he did get a sudden influx of cash. Picks up a full AC for himself. 12k difference in the XP and gold. Now for the Radiant.
Looking at the golden experience. Oh, this team quick way.
Yeah, this could be the final play. They go in ultimate to use cooldown. Is that fresh on Gyro? I swear I just saw him use that. Must have been one stolen from the Rubik. That would make a lot more sense. Some TP's out. No one actually dies there from the Dire. They all manage to TP out. Except for Queen Pain, who is now picked off finally.
Doesn't have buyback, it's like on cooldown, so.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. The Radiant now have mega creeps. Dire's
Lux
structures
Rax
are
does come in, they've
fortified.
got mega creeps up now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
Orange
middle
really
tower
needs to defend,
has
it's going to
fallen.
be very, very hard.
Just getting those final couple of kills before they get through. Buyback now from the Rubik. And the GG is called there from Orange. Giving TNC the win for that game. Bam.
It was definitely quite a good game for the early game.
Radiant
That's really did manage to score a couple of kills, but Tiny was farming. Just farmed him. I think jack up to his team presence. It's a lot more than the Tinies. Really what won in the game.
Very strong coordination from TNC. They really were able to dominate that mid game. The Queen of Pain got off to quite a good start from the Night Stalker with one kill there, but then maybe not playing it safe enough from the support, so Night Stalker was able to turn around and get tons of pickoffs, and it felt like the game really just snowballed from there. Perhaps Orange needed a lot more vision to be able to be safe from this Night Stalker and the gank lineup of the Bat Rider and the initiation from the Fissure, but that just didn't happen, and the game just kept going out of control. It was very back and forth, and I guess there was times where Orange could have come back. Didn't happen for them this game, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, things just didn't seem to be going in Orange's favour.
Anyway, we're going to have a quick break. And then we should be able to jump into the next game, which I believe is TNC versus Zenith. So we'll get to see TNC again and see if they can win a game against Zenith, another very well-known team. We'll be back shortly.
Yep.
Channel switched.